Yes, people. What's going on? It's the Kitty G on EGTV, and we're back again with another show. I got the boys with me on Vibes from the Six. We haven't been together in a while, but it's good to see everyone back. We have Alan here, Mojo, Mons, Dabs, and AK. Just to let you guys know, unfortunately, Hussam will no longer be on Vibes from the Six. This is not any beef or anything like that. That's my boy. He's moving on to greater pastures. He has a great channel, and he's going to be taking more time to focus on his channel. So I fully respect his decision, and big up to my guy Hussam.
Best of luck to Hassan, man. Make sure you look check him out.
Big up, man.
But yeah, big up to everyone in the comment section. Today, we're going to be doing a little bit of a different type of show. We're going to talk about the transfers to begin with. And then at the end, we're going to do a top 10 list. So as you can see, there's a question for you guys to vote for who the best center back is right now currently in the Premier League. I've given you, I think, 3 candidates: Diaz, Thiago Silva, and Virgil van Dijk. So you guys vote for that while we're going on through the show. Today, we're going to talk about Lisandro Martínez to Manchester United. The deal was done today. Jules Koundé was announced over that he might be possibly coming to Chelsea, in addition to Koulibaly already joining Chelsea. And Tottenham are keeping busy, getting their 6th signing almost done over the line with Djed Spence. We've already talking a lot about Man City, Liverpool, and Arsenal throughout the last couple of weeks. So this show, we're going to focus on those 3 clubs. But let's get started with Lisandro Martínez. AK, how are you feeling about Lisandro Martínez signing, man?
Yeah, man, I'm happy with it. I'm very happy with it. I established international for Argentina, the Ajax's Player of the Year, one of the best defenders in the Eredivisie, and he's coming to Man United. So it'll take time for him to adapt to the actual league. The good thing about signing players that have played under Ten Hag is we don't need them to adapt to the system. So the adaptation period hopefully won't be as long. And yeah, man, I'm looking forward to seeing where he plays first of all, because he's been rumored that he could play in the pivot. It's been rumored he can play at left centre back and also left back. Obviously, I don't think he'll play at left back because we have enough options there, which leaves us with either in the pivot or at left centre back. So yeah, I'm really intrigued. We just gotta wait and see what happens with it. But whatever it is, hopefully it leads to good things. That's the most I can say at the moment.
There you go. But yeah, I just want everyone to tell me what they think about Martinez. I'm not gonna lie, a lot of people are talking about his height. Do you guys think height is going to be an issue for him? Because he's not one of the tallest center backs in the league. He's gonna be one of the shorter center backs in the league. You have an issue with that?
Is that to AK or to all of us?
Oh, he talks to me? No, personally for me, I don't have an issue with his height. We've seen shorter defenders. What is he? 5'8"?
5'9".
5'9". Yeah, we've seen defenders.
Not 5'9".
Well, it says he's 5'9" on his thingy page, so we'll go with that for now until otherwise.
Brother said I've got a whole different counting thing for it.
Just saying, like, if you go on the Ajax preseason thing for last season, it literally states his height and weight as 5'9". So I'm gonna use that fact for now until proven otherwise. But yeah, height doesn't really. It's not the thing that I'm scared of. We've seen shorter defenders around the world in this league still be dominant. Maybe not dominant in the air, but still win their individual duels, win their individual battles. And we've also seen that. Let's not make it sound like height is the biggest factor for a centre back, because I watched last season Ivan Toney cause problems to almost every single defender in this league, and he ain't the tallest, almost every single defender in the league, and he ain't one of the tallest centre forwards. So I don't think height plays that much of a factor. It's about how you read the game. It's about how you position yourself, and it's about your ability to kind of read when to do things and when not to do things. And I think he's very good at that. So I'm not worried until I have a reason to worry, or until I see a reason to worry. I'm not that fussed about it.
For me, with height, you only worry against certain teams that played to those type of strengths, like long ball specialists. And with teams like Burnley not being there anymore, it's not much of a problem. I'm trying to struggle to think of a team that is very route one type of team in the Premier League now. If anyone can name one that's just route one and that would probably cause Martin's problems, I can't think of anything.
Arsenal with their new number 9, Gabriel Jesus. Absolutely.
Whoa. Shots fired.
Oh, it's okay. You got a center back shorter than my little cousin. It's fine.
Oh my days.
Wallahi, it's fine. But when
A
it comes down,
centre back that you and your fans broke your
we did
absolute
not
back
want
for.
him as a centre back. That is the reality. We wanted to play him as an inverted left back. There's a big difference.
Well, wherever you wanted to play him, he won't be playing that. I can guarantee you that.
Let me ask you this, Mojo. You have Aspilicueta. Has he played as in a back two before?
Not necessarily in the back two. He's always
Back
played.
four.
He's played and in the back four. He's always been either deployed either as a left back or a right back, depending on which manager you look at. And as for like when we play with 3 at the back, he's been deployed in the right side of the centre back. So, and we've had games where that's happened. Actually, the one that comes to mind is against Spurs when Dele Alli Christian Eriksen would just find him and it's bam, it's back at the net. And I'm like, damn it, they caught out the Aspi. There's nothing we can do. But besides that, honestly speaking, I think we're just making it a thing like that. We want to speak about height. I'd rather speak about the player's attributes and ability, and rather than his height, because let's be frankly honest, they've got a 6'4" Harry Maguire donkey, and in the back four, and let's be frankly honest, none of us are fond of him. None of us have anything good to say about that guy either, and he's a tall guy. So let's be honest. I don't know, man. I don't think we really need to make that the conversation. I think at the end of the day, Arsenal fans just have to take it as what it is. Look, the player, and he has obviously got a relationship with Erik ten Hag. Erik ten Hag has convinced him. Manchester United were able to offer a lot more than you lot did.
And it's crazy because all the hate is coming from Arsenal fans. Like, if you go look at everyone saying, you won't say, and this is, by the way, it's important. It's very important. I need people to understand this. If you go look at Tottenham, if you go look at Chelsea, if you go look at Liverpool and Manchester City, not a single person from that fan base that I've seen, maybe I'm wrong, maybe 1 or 2 accounts, but none of the bigger accounts that I follow have taken time out of their day to talk about Lisandro Martínez, the 7th place Manchester United's new centre-back, and his height. But Arsenal fans seem to have this insecurity where they can't let things go. The player didn't choose your club. He won't be wearing Arsenal's red. He won't be playing for you guys next season. But what does that turn into now? It turns into slander because it's the pain of losing a player to a rival. And that's all it is. And I understand that. There's nothing wrong with that. It's absolutely fine. It's a part of football.
You want to know something, AK? I was humble. I had no issues at all. I said, you know what? Manchester United are about to get a great player.
Somebody pull up his tweet, man.
I said Manchester United.
Twitter,
One second. Let me explain. Then I said Manchester United were getting a great player. We're about to move on to a great left back, and we're gonna get another left back, right? Then what happens? Immediately, everyone starts getting angry because I'm calling your new center back a left back, which reality, that's what he would have been for us. And also, AK, there's no need to throw smoke. But let me ask you this: were we not saying we were in the same market? Because you're basically saying we're for the same player. So are we not shopping in the same market basically?
No, but we're not. You're not shopping. How many times do I have to tell you this? You're not shopping in that market. You're just window shopping. You're just walking. It's like me and Monts walk into Harrods, yeah, and he actually buys something, and I just walk around Harrods and I walk out the other door. I didn't do any shopping. He's the one that actually did shopping. You've tried to shop in this market. You tried with Rafinha, it didn't work. You tried with Martinez, it didn't work. And now what do? You go to the market below. So you go from Harrods to Marks and Spencer's, and now you're gonna go get yourself Zinchenko. It's absolutely fine. There's nothing wrong with it.
I'll be 100. I'll be 100. I'm going to go Burberry directly, yeah, and then I'm going to go in Selfridges to the cocktail bar, have a bottle of champagne, and leave as well. So, I mean, you lot, this is mad. I find it funny the way Arsenal and Man United fans are just. The way you lot
they're just mad.
I know. I get when people say sitting Liverpool rivalry is made up. I get it because you two hate each other. I swear,
bro. They're mad because we just didn't sit there and take it and be like, oh, they're gonna say all day. They're just gonna say, oh, the player rejected you. The player rejected you. So people are firing back and they're like, oh, why are you firing back? And I'm signing. You're bitter.
There's nothing you can say to fire back though. Like, what can you tell me? What can you say?
What we can tell you is you signed a 5'7" center back.
Okay.
Okay. When has a short
5'7"? You just want to take it off.
I didn't hear any of this hype mention when Arsenal were interested. It was
it's crazy.
Okay, maybe you did, but loads of Arsenal fans weren't. Maybe you did, but maybe loads of Arsenal fans weren't. It was going to be a great
do you know what it is? When Arsenal were in for Martinez, it was, oh yeah, he's adept, he's this, he's versatile, he can do this, he can do that. Regardless of the height, his aggression makes up for it. He's got a brilliant spring. Now all of a sudden, it's 5'7". You know what I mean? I like Zinchenko anyway. Like, what are we talking about? Four-time Premier League winner.
You know what it is? It's the hypocrisy. It's the hypocrisy in the fact that where do Arsenal fans get this information that he was going to play left back for them? That's what I want to know.
Bro,
that's the question I've been asking.
All of a sudden he's a scrub, innit? All of a sudden he's a scrub.
David Ornstein.
And this is where we get Egal. Listen to this, guys. Egal, what did he say?
David Ornstein, if I'm not mistaken, said Arsenal are looking for someone to deputize and play alongside and challenge Kieran Tierney in that left back position. And we view.
Okay, I'm going to pull up the article.
One second. We view Lisandro Martínez as a unicorn of a player who could be an absolutely amazing inverted left back. That's what we view him as.
Okay, now it's crazy. It's amazing when you read certain extracts from an article and you base everything off those extracts. In that very same article that Egal is talking about, where David Ornstein breaks down Martinez, what he does and where he can play, he clearly states, and this is a man who gets briefing from the football club. He clearly states, Lisandro Martinez, it is unknown to him or the manager yet whether he will be playing at left centre back or left back. So how can you guys now come on here and tell me, oh, he was coming to Arsenal to play at left back and he would be fine there, but he wasn't coming to Arsenal to play at left centre back, and he was never too sure. And as Mont said, I can find you tweets from some of the biggest Arsenal accounts on Twitter, all saying when he was signing for Arsenal, all saying height doesn't matter, he's still got good leap. They made a whole fucking compilation of every header that he won last season in Eredivisie. Every header that they won, they made a compilation.
Hey, Egal's laughing
so,
already.
How can you guys now tell me all of a sudden that it doesn't matter? It's just confusing.
I want to know who made the comp.
It's confusing.
Yeah, talk to your fan base, bro. There's a lot of people making comps.
Listen. There's a lot to talk about for Manchester United. They didn't only sign one player; they also signed Eriksen.
Before we move on from Lisandro, there's another thing that we need to address, which is the price. And I've seen this, people talk about this a lot. Twitter seems to turn into accountants when they start talking about.
I'm done with prices as well. People having to ask, do you want the actual price or the euro price or the English price? Do you want the full package or the half? Bro, I can give a shit.
You know what it is? Let's keep it on the English price for a second, yeah. So the original price that Ajax quoted Arsenal when Arsenal went in to sign for him was £40 million plus 5 to 10 million in add-ons, which would equate to 50 million Great British pounds. Okay, that's the original figure that they quoted. Then you had Arsenal come in and offer around 37, 38, whatever. Really? And in the end, it was 37. It was 37 including add-ons that you guys offered. In the end, Manchester United decided to pay 54 million pounds, and then they paid. Well, they haven't paid, but add-ons including performances and clean sheets and whatever else it is, trophies, whatever it is, we don't know the exacts, an extra 10 million in add-ons. Now, 54 million pounds from the original 40 million pound quoted is an extra 14 million. If you do not think Manchester United spending extra 14 million to sign who they class as their number one target at centre back is crazy, then I don't know what to do for you, bro. It was a player that was wanted by multiple teams, so you're going to have to pay the premium. If that premium costs you 14 million pounds more, it is what it is. It's not the end of the world.
Okay. Let me ask you this.
Let me land. 54 million pounds, and I mean this in the most respectful way possible. 54 million pounds for Arsenal is not the same as 54 million pounds for Manchester United, and that is factual in terms of when you look at it from a monetary perspective of what the clubs are and where they are. So it's just how it is. It might seem like a lot to you guys, but it really doesn't affect our transfer budget that much, paying an extra 14 million pounds.
Okay, just before we go to the super chat, let me just you tweeted this just a couple minutes ago, bro. Ben White was an absolute bump at 50 mil. I'm pretty sure you're paying
absolutely.
I'm pretty sure you're paying 5 million.
I love that you're here. Can you scroll down? What
happened? What happened? No, I'll scroll down.
Yeah, now click on that tweet. Click on that tweet for me. No, you don't even need to click on it, guys. Okay, so just to provide the context, an Arsenal account tweeted William Saliba 27 million pounds, Gabriel 25 million, Tomiyasu 18 million, Ben White 50, Kieran Tierney 25. That's how you build Chelsea. Telling Chelsea that's how you build a defense. And in response,
Koulibaly 35 sounds mad.
In response, I tweeted William Saliba 27 million pounds, hasn't played a game for the club. Gabriel 25 million pounds, a good centre back because that's what he is. Tomiyasu is injured all the time. Ben White for £50 million. You could go to Christ and back, bro. That is a bump. No other club on the planet was going to pay Ben White 50 million Great British pounds, no matter what you say.
The planet was going to pay 57 million.
And I'm okay with that. And I'm okay with that because I know Lisandro is better than Ben White, and I know he's going to prove that he's better than Ben White. So I'm not upset at that.
On what basis do you?
On the basis that Ben White is a bozo.
Okay, basically, it's your opinion. That's not a fact.
Everything is an opinion. There's no such thing as facts when you're comparing two players.
God damn, it's going to be fun comparing the centre backs later.
There are facts. You don't compare. You don't compare like Virgil van Dijk to friggin' I don't know. Name somebody at the bottom.
Absolutely, God. The same way you don't compare a international defender who's won trophies with his national team, who's then gone. What has he won with Argentina, Gal?
The Finalissima
and the Copa America.
Oh, he was in the team.
And then
is a great shout, by the way.
Same centre back who's won leagues in Holland. Same centre back who's won Player of the Years in his country. Like again, I can tell you can't compare that to Ben White, who came out of Brighton and has done absolutely nothing at Arsenal. So we can go back and forth all day on this. It doesn't bother me, but no one is winning this argument.
Yeah, facts.
Welcome to the world of Twitter. There's one thing there's a couple things that you said were absolute bullshit, but the main thing that you said was bullshit was you tried to say we're window shopping where you weren't shopping. If we bid for a player, that means the player we've already spoken to the player and we are working towards getting the signing done. That is actually
that is true. Can I just give you an example real quick, Mojo? Let's say me and you are in an auction, Mojo, and there's an item and you bid for the item and I outbid you and I get the item. Did you do any shopping at that auction?
And no, I did what is called the pretend shopping.
Thank you very much.
So are we going to act like an auction is actually similar to how transfers?
That is what a transfer window is.
You want me to be honest with you? Yeah, I was just going to compare it to like going to a Sunday market or whatever, man. Because Arsenal will go there. They'll get told the valuation, guys. Let's be honest. Arsenal's getting told the valuation. And the first bid they make is nowhere near the valuation. I think that's a bit shocking. Like, it's same old Arsenal, bro. Like, we're talking back to Suarez days, etc., bro.
But they spent the most last window.
Yeah, I know. But it's what I'm saying.
Can I just cut in here? Sorry, can I just cut in here? Listen, sorry, bro. As the Liverpool representative, you need to take every single bit of the shame on what is going on right now. We're all talking about spend, bro. When did this happen? When Arsenal?
You don't like to talk about spend. I understand, bro. You have endless.
Neither should you, bro. Neither should you, bro.
None of us should.
You taught us, bro. We
just
shouldn't do it. Liverpool
we taught you.
Made us all
you know
talk
what?
about
I'm glad,
net
bro.
spend.
You're giving me credit. I'll take it. I'll take it.
No, Liverpool has made this net spend thing relevant. Like honestly,
I didn't say net spend. I said they spent the most.
No, you didn't. No, I'm not saying you, but Liverpool has made this. How much you spend, how much you make, and all this, like.
Because that
are we going to talk about football soon? Or are we becoming?
That's how we've been managing our transfers, though. That's how we.
Yeah, Coutinho money. I get it, bro. It's just.
I can't even blame Liverpool. I think it's a fact where anytime a team loses out, and it's not just Arsenal fans, and I can't blame them for this because I'll be real. I did this at a time when we lost a player to Arsenal as well. Anytime your football club loses a player, you try and find any negatives to bring that player down. Yeah. If that negative is how much they paid for them, then you will run with that. And it's absolutely not like, you know what I'm saying? Everyone turns into accountants when they don't get what they want. Just how football works at the moment.
Yeah, that's ultimately what I said, but you said it more constructively. Thank you.
Let's move on.
No, you said it well. You said it well, Dubs.
Big up everybody.
I said it in my way.
In the chat, we got Gio in the house. Big up Gio every single time. This show is lit. I have my popcorn, enjoying the show. AK speaking facts. Pay attention. Big up Egal. Keep up the bringing the fire content. Shout out
Big up Gio, man. Big up Gio.
Big up, man, Gio.
Okay, so there's another deal. Eriksen. Big up Babs in the house. Babs, big 100K, bro. Shout out to Babs, bro. But yo, hey, Alan, talk to me, bro. Eriksen has gone to Manchester United. How does that make you feel?
Yeah, so we showed initial interest in him, had a conversation with his representatives, and then we didn't follow it up. I'm not going to lie. He's a quality player still. He showed that when he came back to Brentford, when Brentford were his team that took a chance on him. He created so many chances for him. He was one of the reasons why they ended up staying up. Quality player. I think he's still got it. You know, best of luck to him. No hard feelings. It's just we decided to go a different way. I don't know if it looks like there's talks about Maddison now. We'll have to wait and see what happens. But yeah,
I think Tottenham.
Yeah. There's talks of Maddison, yeah.
That'll piss you, man, off, right, Egal?
Yeah.
No, Maddison, we've moved on from Maddison.
Yeah, we'll just yeah.
There's an easy dig for me there to take, but you know what? I'm gonna rise above it, and I'm not gonna take.
Hey, this is growth on your part, AK.
So I'm not gonna do it. But no, Eriksen is
maybe Martinez will get some growth soon.
I think Eriksen is a good signing, but I think Eriksen is a very good signing in the sense of he brings something into our midfield in terms of creativity that I don't think we have at the moment. We don't have that calm creator. We have an erratic one in Bruno Fernandes. So I think he'll bring anyone who watched him last season will know he still possesses the quality to play those balls from set pieces. And he's still very mobile, as in he can still play a 90-minute game of football and not look too bad considering what he's gone through. So I think it'll be I think it'll be a very good signing for us. But what I'm confused about is does he start? Do you bring in Eriksen on a 3-year contract for him to be a starter at the beginning, or do you bring him in to be a player that kind of fits in that role? But at the same time, there is a lot of games next season. Unfortunately, we are in the Europa League. You have the FA Cup, you've got the Carabao Cup, you've got the Premier League as well. And yeah, I think he'll be getting more than enough game time to prove his quality. And I would not be surprised later on in the season, after some of these Europa League games have played, and he's proven how much better than, and in my opinion, how much better than Bruno Fernandes he is at creating. I wouldn't be surprised if he is a more of a starter in that starting 11.
I reckon he will be. I reckon he will be right in there.
I'm gonna be real with Eric. I'm gonna be real with the whole Eriksen thing, and I think Eriksen's a good player. And for Man United, as you said, I agree that it's a good signing for Man United. But I think it's still, I think people still have this notion that he's the Eriksen that left Tottenham. Like, this is 2022, it's not 2017. I think he'll be a good squad player, and he brings different qualities to what you don't have. But I don't think this is anything to shout or scream about, in my opinion.
No, I agree with you to a certain extent. I think he'll still be a. He'll play an important role in the cups. I think that's what I'm looking forward to the most, because to get games where Bruno Fernandes isn't playing and to give him that rest that he doesn't deserve, but the rest that he'll eventually get. I think Eriksen is the right player for that. So I think he's a very good addition to the team.
Yeah, I honestly don't think there's anything that we haven't already covered on Ronaldo last time. We can just move on from here.
I've got something, because I don't think I was here last time when you lot covered Ronaldo.
Okay, go ahead.
I've got something to say about Cristiano Ronaldo. And yeah, listen, if you know me, you will know that Cristiano Ronaldo is, that man is he's the GOAT in my opinion. There is no one I love in football more than Cristiano Ronaldo. And of course, a lot of reason for that was loyalty, and a loyalty that I felt that I had towards him. When I was 12 years old, I saw him hold up a Real Madrid shirt, and it pissed me off to the point where I hated the man for about 4 or 5 years. And he's come back now, and I've seen him live. I saw him live the first time, but I've seen him live again. I've seen him score the hat-tricks that he scored. I've seen him score the goals that he scored. And I can simply say I am happy with what I've seen, but he no longer...
What the hell was that?
Someone dupping him for talking about Ronaldo.
Word.
I wasn't feeling it. Listen, United, a top red just head.
Don't talk about him.
Oh, then top reds.
Don't talk about Ronaldo. But no, listen, it's time for him to. I think it is time for him to keep a step in from a footballing perspective.
To where, bro?
And that's where I'm getting to. From he is no longer required at Manchester United.
Wow.
But he's not going anywhere, because there is no one that is going to be able to take Cristiano Ronaldo unless he's coming as a free transfer. No one is going to take that wage on. It is impossible, in my opinion. And the clubs that would be able to take it on just don't need him or don't want him. So him staying at Manchester United for one more year works out to our benefit a little bit, because we don't have to worry about a number 9 this summer. We can postpone that until next summer, and it's not something that we're going to have to sort out straight away. But I would like to know now whether he's going or staying, because this whole roundabout thing of one day he's going, one day he's staying it's really annoying me, and it's pissing me off. So that's my thing with Ronaldo. If he does leave, he can go anywhere outside of the country. If he does end up at another Premier League club, I will burn every single Ronaldo shirt that I have from the year 2006 until now. He can never touch another Premier League club, which is why those Chelsea rumors pissed me off so much.
So I'm not gonna lie. We've already asked Mojo this, and he said he doesn't want him, if I'm not mistaken. But Moon Raider says it would be
Good,
funny to
Mojo. Very good that you don't want him, because
I don't want him,
I call him the Grim Reaper now. That's what he is. He will walk into a team, take what he wants, and leave everyone else laying there flat, bro.
For me, considering what's happening with Lewandowski going to Barcelona, I think that's where probably his most likely destination if he goes Bayern Munich.
Yeah. Do you know what's funny about Ronaldo? I think he is going to guarantee you some amount of goals, but again, he kind of sucks the rest of the goals out of the front line wherever he's going to go, because unfortunately, he doesn't have the legs to play a system successfully. You have to play through him. I think even if Ronaldo gets 20 in the Premier League next season, I think I'd rather so if Ronaldo gets 20, I think Man United score like 50 goals. But if Martial gets like 12 goals, Man United probably score 70 goals. Does that make sense? There's more goals throughout the squad sort of thing.
Okay, AK Mojo and Alan, can you please send me your top 10 list? Because I got everyone else.
Brother, I'm struggling.
Also,
there isn't 10 good centre backs in this league, bro.
Yeah, after 7 centre backs, I was
literally, bro. I'm going to be putting names there, but if you ask the question,
nonsense. There's more than 10.
Yo, I'm just gonna move it on quickly. But before we move it on, bro, I couldn't not mention this. Someone said Timo Nunez. How do you feel about Nunez, bro? Because everyone's memeing him, everyone's putting clown music, they're trolling the hell out of him. Are you worried?
Me, I never thought he was the truth to begin with. I've been hounded, I've been rushed by my own fan base, because I can't lie, like there was nothing to shout about when we bought him. The price was extortionate. He's only had one good season in a shit league, and then what's worse, there was comparisons to Haaland. It just screams stupidness to me. So personally, what I would say is that it's pre-season, so if he's going to do all this craziness, it's in pre-season, so we won't look into it too much. I think we do need something different, but do we have time to sign a 22-year-old that's going to take years to develop at the club? Hell no.
I think people are just being too reactionary to pre-season in general.
Of course,
bro. Come on, 100%. You're spot on, Alan. You're spot on.
It's pre-season. It's 2 games. You've got the rest of pre-season to go, and the league's completely different to pre-season. It's ridiculous how people are just.
No, but you know what, bro? It's not.
Typical,
I'll be 100. I will not go out and find any clips of Darwin Nunez, put them together, put music over them, and release them. But the fact is, if someone tweets me, and I probably check Twitter 3 to 4 times a day max. If I'm in a tweet, I'm going to retweet it. It's documented on streams. I'm saying give him time. Klopp generally doesn't get signings that wrong. If he's managed to get that much money out of Liverpool's board, it's for a reason. But if I see Darwin Nunez putting a defensive header as good as that in when he's supposed to be putting it the other way, I'm going to retweet it. And if people think it's shameless, it is what it is. We have to banter a bit. There has to be, because all Liverpool fans will do it on Haaland. So I'm just going to do it, but I'm not going to deep it and start talking for hours on it.
But I know what you're saying with the shameless thing. Personally, I don't think it's as shameless as people think, because first of all, of course, it's not, like Alan said, it's not even 2 games. It was 2 30-minute cameos, actually. It weren't even 2 full games, 2 30-minute cameos. But at the same time, if Darwin Nunez scores a screamer, or if he scores a bullet header in both those 30-minute cameos, Liverpool fans are going crazy. Saying they signed the next Suarez. That's what's going to happen. So
do you know what? That's the same as a United fan. So again, when United beat you, I tweeted, or I don't know if it's Twitter or Instagram, I put something. No, it's about Darwin Nunez's miss. And I basically retweeted it because Carefree Lewis put it out. So I retweeted it saying,
that's like how I retweeted.
Mad. That looked like a Kepa penalty, right? And then people were coming, Liverpool fans were like, I don't even care about the game. I'm like, of course you don't, because you didn't win. Because if Liverpool won, they would have bragged to United fans, and rightly so. It's United. I don't know
about brag to United fans, but it's more.
No, you would, bro. You would, because
probably the fan base.
Rightly so. You should.
I think the bragging would have been more stronger on Manchester United side than Liverpool. But I think I think that Liverpool fans would have celebrated Darwin Nunez if there was any success in the preseason. So I think it's unfair for Liverpool fans to downplay the deficiencies. If you see deficiencies in preseason, rightly so, you're allowed to call it out. And I think as any Liverpool fan that's calling out Darwin Nunez's deficiencies are getting slated way more than they need to be slated, in my opinion, because the same people that are getting on to me for saying, like the touch is a bit mad, the short passing is a bit crazy. are the same man that would have been screaming about his left foot, right foot finishes or
It's
bullet.
spot on,
headers that
Monty.
he's scoring.
Are you allowed to be either too excited about preseason or too negative? Because I think both are wrong. I think you should be somewhere in the middle.
Yeah,
where
it's somewhere in the middle, because at the end of the day, when you have a good preseason, having a good preseason can sometimes lead into your form into the Premier League. Not always the case. Salah
100%.
Salah scored 0 goals last preseason and went on to do what he did. So it's like, well, it's not always a direct link, but at the same time, you haven't seen your team play since the end of the season. Everyone's itching to see their team play football, so they're going to go off what they see. Gabriel Jesus scored 3 goals in 2 games, yeah, and I'm hearing he's getting 30 goals in the Prem, 25 goals in the Prem.
No, that's ridiculous. But what I think is not ridiculous is that we could see him get in the like what 15 goal range in the Prem. That is realistic.
Yeah, but the thing is, if Gabriel Jesus was to score 0 goals in Europe in preseason, all Arsenal fans would be telling me, "No, it's fine, it's preseason, don't worry about it." You know, did you get it? It's one way or the other. Unfortunately,
look, I watched a City video from behind the scenes of like their first behind the scenes of preseason yesterday.
Yeah,
Rodri cuddled Bernardo Silva when he arrived back at training camp. Grealish walked into the training camp before he saw anyone else, was going, Bernardo. Kyle Walker put Bernardo Silva in a big wheelie bin and was wheeling around. I'm thinking, he's getting on with the fans. He's not going anywhere. It's what we do, man. And ultimately, we do YouTube, so we are going to talk about this. But we're all going to talk about everything. If we didn't, we wouldn't be doing YouTube. I lie? If we didn't pick up on these little things, that's what we're here to do. Darwin Nunez, the only thing I would say is pretty much what Mont said, that I will take confidence from it, is because Martial's looked good in the last 2 games, I worry that Martial might hit some form this season.
Okay. Just to let
if Darwin Nunez looks shit all preseason, I'm going to be very hopeful that he carries that form into the league. And that's all I'm going to take from it. We can't start saying he's a shit signing. He's one of the top goal scorers in European football in the last year, and we have to just see it as that. Hopefully he flops, then we can laugh at him, but I will still retweet anything I get because it's banter.
Mojo, you're the only one left.
Okay, sorry.
Mojo, you're the only one left to give me your top 10. Everyone else has given it to me.
Can I just adjust something real quick?
I'm gonna get to you, bro. Just before we move on, guys, do me a favor, hit that like button. We're only currently on 56 likes. You can do much better than that. And the vote in the poll, we've already had 127 people vote in the poll, and Van Dijk is winning by a landslide, 66%. AK, go ahead.
Wow.
Listen, preseason can be taken one of 2 ways. You have the very reactionary fans in terms of positivity, and you have the very reactionary fans in terms of negativity. There's no middle ground when it comes to preseason. And it's a bit jarring, it's a bit annoying. I saw United beat Liverpool and everyone went crazy all of a sudden thinking, we're back, like, you know what I'm saying? And then the next game we played against Melbourne, something in a low block, and we struggled for 45 minutes to even create a single chance. So it's like, you can sit here and look at it however you want to look at it. But the truth is, I've seen players who have absolutely banged nothing but bangers after bangers after bangers in preseason, and then when the season starts have absolutely failed to do anything, and vice versa, players who've looked bad in preseason and who have started hitting form when the season starts. Preseason is about fitness more than anything, and I need people to understand this. Preseason is about fitness, it's about tactical preparations, it's about building that chemistry between manager, team, tactics, and fitness. And as long as that is happening, all these other stuff is just to work on little things. And people need to stop over exaggerating what's going on with Darwin Nunez. But at the same time, I can sit here and I can say I understand where the concerns are coming from, because it's not just what we've seen in preseason. Even if you go look back at his previous club, he did have these kind of moments. So if people are coming from,
this was mad. This was mad. Sorry,
if people are coming up.
Bro, sorry. David Hay got slaughtered for saying he had a broken toe. Man said it was blisters. I'm sorry, blisters.
But yeah, listen. You can talk about what he's done previously, and you can tell me, oh, I'm a little bit worried. But the people that are jumping to a straight conclusion, that's what I don't really understand.
Just before we go on to Alan and Tottenham, quickly just to touch on Zinchenko and Cucurella. Dabs, what's going on with the Cucurella thing? Because
by the looks of it, thanks for look. Cucurella is a Mendy replacement. Firstly, he's not Zinchenko replacement. We still haven't replaced Mendy, so it's a Mendy replacement. But it is, isn't it? We like.
No, I didn't think about that. I didn't think about that.
We should have people apparently have two, especially champions of England, 6 times in the last 10, may I add, usually have 2 players in every position. Mendy and Zinchenko on the left, Walker, Cancelo on the right. We've got rid of Mendy's gone, thank God. And now it looks like Zinchenko's going. So if we bring in Cucurella, we still are kind of one light on the side. But it is good because
you have a transformer as well, though. Remember, not a lot of teams.
We do. Which is a valid point. But I personally feel Cucurella was coming in to free up Cancelo to move to the right because as Walker's dropping 5 games a season. If you look at his stats, it's 4 to 5 games every season he's playing less. So I feel like it's the time that Cancelo will start holding down the right side and Walker will play less. But as a mature footballer, he'll be fine with that. But maybe not now because Cancelo will be cover on both sides. It does confirm to me Cucurella is coming because we won't be getting rid of the only guy that can play on the left.
Zinchenko. Good
signing, man. Sad to see him go.
Is he actually one of the more technically gifted players? Because I'm shocked. I watched the video where Kyle Walker was saying he's the 3rd most technically gifted player in your team.
I mean, cool. That's a mad one because that puts me in the world of I want to.
That's an outrageous statement.
No, you know what it is. No, okay. Let me speak on this. That is the perfect.
Well, they have Bernardo Silva, Kevin De Bruyne. They have all
that
these guys.
Just Arsenal, man. That's just because I'm here ready to boost Arsenal, and then that statement comes out, and it's like, oh, for fuck's sake, here we go.
Kyle Walker said it. I didn't say it.
Look, for me, I've said it before, and I'm going to look as shameless as you now.
He's so shocked.
No, I'm going to look as shameless as you with what I say next. So I have to be very clear with what I say. There's been many times this season where I have said that there's elements of Zinchenko's game and I'm going to be quick now, they're similar to David Silva. They're not the silky passes. They're not the chips over the knot. They're not the chests and volleys through to Zeko. They're the very simple things, which is moving into the middle of the pitch, making triangles and doing the simple passes and always offering an outlet. Breathe. He can do that to an exceptional level. He knows how to play in a system. I mean, say he's the 3rd most technical.
Sorry, Daps. I don't want to misunderstand you. Can you just repeat that one more time? Because I didn't get that.
So you have to hear the whole thing.
Yeah.
Right? You have to hear the whole thing. There's 2 sides of David Silva. I'm going to do it differently. There's the amazing passes, the chips over the top, the against United, the chest and volley through to Zeko that was inch perfect. There's that side of David Silva. And then there's the side of David Silva that is constantly an outlet for a pass. He floats around the pitch, forming triangles all over the pitch. If anyone ever needs to get some defenders, he's the extra man that will be like, give me the ball. He might just give it back to you, but by giving him the ball, 2 defenders will move away from him, and then he swiftly puts it back to you, and you've got space. Zinchenko can do that side of David Silva very, very, very well. That's why Pep loves him, because he wasn't a left back, and most of the time we have the ball, so he can, as a left back, transition into a central midfield role. He's very good. He knows how to play under a system. He's surprisingly good in the air.
He did that very well.
Which supports your Martinez argument, by the way.
He did that very well in the first.
I think he's the best
Madrid game. The first Madrid game, Daps, if you remember, he did that very well, where he was able to pick up that pocket, in that inside pocket between the midfield and the defense. And I think the goal that Bernardo scored came from that, where he picked up the ball there and he played it into him before he got fouled. I will give him that. He is very good at finding those pockets and continuing play.
Even in the second game at Real Madrid, which I know we lost, people will say that 100%. But when him and Gundogan came on, they changed the game for a period, because it's like Pep had said to them, guys, just go on and do what I tell you all the time. Just play very simple football. Don't overthink nothing. Just play what I tell you every single day on the training pitch. That's what he does best. He plays simple football. It's a good signing for you lot. 30 million, if you get him for 30, 35 million, I think it's a very good signing. We will wish him well. And again, I will say to you lot, don't do your usual scummy shit and turn on him if he has a few bad games. Listen, he's a good signing, man. He's bringing a good mentality.
He's the better deal.
And for 30 million, it's a steal. I'll be honest.
I think right now they're both good signings for both teams, but Zinchenko is the better deal.
Well, Arsenal need a left back and a centre mid, and they've got or cover as left back and centre mid. They've got both for 30 million.
I don't think he is the better deal, because I don't think what Martinez will bring to United as a centre back, he'll be able to bring to Arsenal as a left back personally. Because I think our need for a centre back that can play on the ball is so much greater with the system.
That's why are they being compared, bro?
And this is what I'm saying. So the ability and what he will bring in terms of what we need for our system, it will be way more than what he can bring to Arsenal.
It's still a bit of an unknown commodity, even though he knows Ten Hag. It's still a bit of an unknown commodity as to how it's going to work in the Prem. At least Zinchenko, you know what you're going to get from him. He's a proven winner, and he brings something completely different and is better than what Arsenal have. So for me, just on looking on that alone, until I see anything further.
I'm sorry, man. This whole he's played in the Premier League thing before is not it, man.
No, it's relevant. It is relevant.
It is relevant because the same people the same people will say when it comes to another argument, oh, but he doesn't do it in the Prem. Like you said, Ronaldo's your GOAT. I bet that's one of the same things you say when it comes to Ronaldo and Messi. Ronaldo's been doing it in the Prem.
Absolutely not. Again, that's not a legitimate argument in a footballing terms. That is not a legitimate argument, because I can sit here and I can tell you, we've seen him do it in the Champions League consistently. We've seen him do it against some of the better teams in Europe. We saw him do it against
Zinchenko. No, you're talking about?
No. I'm talking. I think we've seen Zinchenko play in the Champions League as well, and I've got nothing bad to say about Zinchenko. By the way, I think he is a good signing for Arsenal, but this idea that because a player hasn't played in the Premier League before, automatically they're at a disadvantage, I just think that's weak, because we've seen players move from one Premier League club to another and still fail. Like I'd say that happens almost as much as we see foreign players come in and fail. So we could have it both ways.
Do you know what? I'd put it this way. What I said on Monty's channel yesterday, because it was the same conversation, and you know what? I don't know where I can't talk on Martinez, because I'm not going to come on here and be shameless and act like I've watched him play, because I haven't. But if we're going to say for Martinez that Martinez knows, and I think it is relevant, and I will not downplay it, the fact that Martinez has played under Ten Hag before is relevant. He knows the system. He knows what he wants, and I will back it with the same with Van Dijk. He has to bring Van de Beek back, because Van de Beek's played under him, and it is relevant. The same way, I do think if someone's played in the Premier League, they know how to play in the Premier League. So I think both of them. I just think this whole Martinez Zinchenko argument is just cute as shit.
We're talking about a left back and a centre back.
What Man United and Arsenal are on now.
Let's just stop it there, and let's actually get to Alan's team.
Absolute mid-off.
Alan
being forced by Egal and his fans, by the way.
It's just bad with the bums, really.
What we were doing was we were trying to squeeze in Arsenal and Man City, because we don't have much to talk about those two clubs at this moment in time. Alan, Tottenham.
No, there's loads to speak on Man City, but let's not do it. I'll do it on another stream. But there's loads to speak on us.
Like what? Stuff. Let me know. What else is going on?
Oh, we're selling a lot of players. Like our squad last season, at the end of the season, looked shallow, right? It looked shallow. We ultimately got the toe. We towed our car over the line, with Laporte and Fernandinho at centre backs. We knew Sterling and potentially Jesus were going to go. That's fine. We brought in a replacement for Fernandinho. We brought in a striker replacement for, whether you say Ferran Torres and Aguero. We needed a left back, but then all of a sudden, this when we're kind of considering the Ake replacement, and when we're looking at Zinchenko replacements, it's like, what is going on? I thought we needed to up our squad. At the moment, we might go into next season with a smaller squad than this season. So there's things going on at City, and people keep asking me. I've got to a point now where I could have called the Fernandinho one, called in strikers come in, and called in a Mendy replacement. What's going on now is like, we're trying to get as much money as possible, and I don't know what's going on. I do not know what's going on.
It may be reduced, but it's not like you're not improving the quality massively.
No, I agree with you, bro, but I agree with you. We've got new tools to our toolkit. That's what we've got. But we're considering sales that we never would have considered before. There's things changing. And maybe, do you know what? Let me be real. To you lot, you probably couldn't give a shit. But to the City fan base, we're thinking, we're changing the way we're doing business. We seem to be piling up a load of money that we thought we didn't need to, because we had 120 million for Kane last summer. We sold Ferran Torres. We won the league, went on a run in the Champions League. We shouldn't need a load of money. But for whatever reason, our board is stockpiling cash at the moment. So what's going on? What's cooking? And then certain people will say Neymar, and some will get excited. People like me will not get excited by that one little bit. But there's definitely something going on. And I'm intrigued, because I thought we'd have our business done by July. But I think we're going to end up doing business a lot later, and there's going to be something big happening at Man City. I don't know.
I think we're going to see one more big signing at City. One more predominant signing.
No, and not Cucurella. Cucurella and one more, I think.
Yeah.
And I don't know what it's going to be. It won't be Jude Bellingham as well, by the way. Anyone think
I was thinking Jude, I'll be real.
No. So Grizz told me last night on a stream, and he waited till the very end of the stream to say it, that he's heard off of somebody. And do you know what? Because Grizz has got it right a few times now. I'm gonna pay attention to it. He said 100. He said 100%. Then he goes, hold on, 97. Then he said, no, actually, fuck it, 100%. Jude Bellingham is going to Manchester City or Liverpool. Not this summer, but Jude Bellingham is 100% only interested in going to Manchester City or Liverpool. It might be getting the money up for that, because that's going to need a lot of money. But there's something going on, and I'm not going to act like I'm in the know and know what it is, but there's something going on.
Okay. Just to let you guys know, I have completed.
Not Ronaldo. Fuck that guy.
I have done my tiering system, and I've completed the top 10. It's interesting, but and I've got the order too, based on everyone's what you guys sent me. But before we go any further, Alan, talk to me about Tottenham. What's really going on at Tottenham? Because James Maddison's being linked to you. You've already signed Lenglet, and you're about to get Djed Spence. Interesting times.
Well, we've already got Djed Spence. It's just this preseason for Spurs, another week, another signing. You know, it's just Levy.
It's just Levy.
This one took the longest because Daniel Levy had his grubby mitts on it. So basically, it was like bargaining and everything like that. But
saved £30.
Yeah, save a £30 or structured the deal over 5 seasons, you know, where he gets like, I don't know, a Sainsbury's Nectar card if he scores goals or something like that stuff that he does. But like I said,
you imagine he fully does use a Nectar card and a Tesco's Club card, and he probably shops at Aldi and Lidl, because that's how tight the budget is.
It's just ridiculous the way he does business. But I've said it before, I'll say it again. He's a good young talent.
Sorry, Alan. Was this the deal that was reportedly given to him, and they told him, "Yo, you go sort this one out"?
Yeah, and it's taken the longest to get
okay.
Good young player. He's got ability. He's a roof. The roof for him, the ceiling is very high. It's just got you got to unlock that potential. His end product is questionable. So that's something that's got to be worked on. But I think and obviously this isn't big, I'll just know, obviously, because I'm not going to say I watch every game for Forest last season, but like the game I did watch, and even Martinelli came out and said he was a good player. He was, one of the best that he played against it. So he's got something there. If Conte can get him in the system and get him working, because let's be honest, what we've got at right back or right wing back isn't it. We might have a player on our hands, and for as cheap as we got him, it could be a steal. But shoulda, coulda, wouldas don't exist, and you've got to end up.
He starts for you.
I'd put him in there. I don't rate Doherty. I don't rate Emerson. I'd put him in there. Why not?
I think you might as well. I think you might as well.
Our right wing back.
I think Doherty's a bit underrated. I think Doherty's actually all right.
Yeah, we're linked with Maddison now. I'm not particularly thrilled about that. He's got a good final ball on him, but I don't think he's, like I say, I'd rather put it into a second centre back that we needed, because that's the area that we tried to get a big name, and it doesn't look like it's working. It's being held back to next season, which I think may cause a problem. But
Egal, can I ask you a question? I think it's an elephant in the room to Alan, and I think he's just confirmed it. Linglet's not the guy, is he? He's not the. I'm not saying he's shit. What I'm saying is what you need deep down to make people like me and maybe Monts take you really.
Yeah.
Do you know? I'm not gonna lie, bro. I feel like you missed out on Koulibaly, because Koulibaly under Conte could have been an absolute monster.
I think it was Skriniar. Skriniar was the one they missed out on.
No, I'm not saying you were in for him, but you should have been 35 million.
The ones we were in
under
for
Conte.
was Stoney, Bremer, and Dika at some point. Is that how you pronounce his name? Gavaldo? I can't. I don't know how to pronounce half the name.
Gavadio,
I'm with you, Alan. It's cool. We can be like
yeah.
that. It's fine.
We were in for a load of names and all that. I don't know. I still think that might be an area we'll look at before the start of the season. But look, he's playing out from the back. It's good. But from what I saw of him, he's one-on-one defending isn't the best. He's not that strong defending, so that could be a problem. But Conte apparently saw something in him and wants him there. So it could be playing three in the back rather than two in the back might suit him. He might be better suited to that system.
Let me ask you this, Alan.
Yeah.
Who is going to be the center back that you think your club should go for?
I think Bastoni.
What still?
You can still get him.
Well, I think it depends because Inter Milan are doing this lot of thing. They're not selling. They have to sell. From everything that's been reported, they have to sell, and it looks like they're not selling at the moment. Skriniar, I think, was going to go PSG, but they've pulled out. So there's still somebody else available. What? Sorry.
You know. So someone said Fofana. This is the thing, and this is where I deeped it because when Chelsea were being linked with Ake.
This is a Leicester fan also.
Apparently, City. Yeah, we had Reedy on to speak about Fofana, right?
Mm.
When Chelsea were linked with Ake, I think Chelsea offered what actually City saw as a fair valuation of him. I think it was between 40 and 45 million, and apparently City said, "Okay, we're not going to push for more than that. We understand that's what you're willing to offer. We're going to go and dip our toes in the market and see what's out there." Right now, I think if Koulibaly was still out there to sell Ake for 40, 45 million and then get Koulibaly for 35 million would be a sensational signing, right? The reason I say at Tottenham that would have been a good signing is because I'm going to go with what people tell me that Conte is only going to be about for a couple of seasons. And he needs... So if Koulibaly is only going to be about for a couple of seasons, which again is what people tell me, to come in and play under an Italian manager that knows how to structure defenses, Koulibaly would have been the difference that would have made me go, okay, I'm taking Tottenham serious right now because he's good enough. I think ultimately, because there is no one out there for 40, 45 million that's good enough. This is why City have gone, nah, you know what? We're not going to sell Ake for 40, 45 million because when we're looking what is left in the market now, like even when I had a Leicester fan on and I said, I like Premier League experienced players. Fofana is a risk because of his injuries, but I like Fofana. He's someone that if Ake went, I'd be interested in him. And he goes, he's going to cost you 70 to 75 to 80 million. Oh. Not in it. Not involved, bro. I'm not involved in that type of money.
I'll tell you now, Daps, if Wesley Fofana isn't, no one buys him this year, and he stays injury free, and he has the season which we all know he's capable of having,
bro.
He will be going for 110, 115 million. That's how good he is, in my opinion.
Bro, I said earlier on, for me, there's three players that I think, because of injuries last season, I've got my eye on, because I think if they have good seasons, they're the type of prices. Fofana and Didi and Neto. Those three have had injuries for the last season. But if you go back to the season before, those three were all balling out, right? But they've had bad injuries, so everyone's forgot them. But 80 million, and I get, we saw Maguire, we see how Leicester do business. They will hold out for it. I think that's what ultimately now Tottenham face. They face a market where possibly the one steal in Koulibaly has gone. And now anything else you want, you're looking, because Chelsea is still looking for another one.
Yeah, we were never really good about it. That's the thing.
No, so I know you weren't, but you should have been, bro.
I don't think we should have. For me, they've come up with a plan that they've literally, Daniel Levy for once has been cut out, apart from the Djed Spence thing. He's been cut out, and they've been able to get on. They've been able to get players in early because that never happens to Spurs. It's always down to the last couple of weeks and all that, and it's just really frustrating. So for me, I don't think that they've earmarked the people they want, and they'll try and do that. Going back to a couple of comments that were in the comment section from people, Pedro Neves said that Bastoni doesn't want to go. I agree, he doesn't want to go, but Inter Milan may be forced to sell if they can't get rid of anyone else. And if they can't be forced to sell, Conte and Paratici have already earmarked him as the one that they want and all that. And if he's forced out because they need to sell.
With Bastoni, I think it's at the moment it's gridlocked all because of Kimpembe. So if the Kimpembe deal doesn't go through, then Skriniar stays, and if Skriniar stays, then Bastoni's back on the market. But if PSG are serious about Skriniar, they can't buy him until Kimpembe is sold. So it's a very confusing. It's just like a domino thing, which is
exactly
one thing needs to happen.
I bet Barcelona are at the top of that domino effect.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
The last thing I've got to say is Keeman in the chat said about what people Spurs fans were going waxing lyrical about Romero. You do realise we're talking about defenders to be in with Romero because he's the one world-class defender. I'm sorry, he is immense. I've seen enough of him to say that I think he is world-class. He's just in a very poor back line, and I don't care what people say. If he had, like you're saying about an injury-free season, if he has an injury-free season and he's in for that thing, he'll be the best defender in the league this season.
Who?
Romero.
That's a big statement, Alan.
That's big.
It's my opinion. Simple as.
Better than Thiago Silva, VVD, Ruben, all these guys better than all of them.
If he stays fully fit and all that, he will have a
things in him that some of these guys haven't provided.
No. We know the levels we're at, but people have seen.
What a link! What a link!
One second. Isn't it perfect that we're going to be talking about top 10 center backs in a second? We will be talking about it. 1 second, Alan. Just before you continue, we need to still talk about Chelsea. So we will come back to the top 10 thing in a second. But let's go to Chelsea. Chelsea have just signed another top center back in world football. When we talk about Koulibaly, Daps, I don't know why you made that face. He is a top center back.
You
I
said
thought
another.
you were going to say another one. I thought you were going to drop another one that I didn't know about.
You said another, so I was expecting you to say something else.
Another one.
No. Jules Koundé did not get signed yet. Don't worry. And I don't think Jules Koundé walks into the top 10, where Koulibaly definitely walks.
Because of his height, I bet.
That's a good one. Anyways, Mojo, talk to me. How you feeling? Because I remember when the Lit was being linked and all these other people were being linked, this was your number one guy that you wanted. You must be ecstatic.
I am, man. I am. And before I speak about Chelsea, I just want to make my weekly plea to Frank Lampard and Everton Football Club. Please, for the love of God, do not sign Harry Winks. I beg you. I can't defend this. Please, for the love of God, Frank Lampard, if you have any standards, if you have anything to say, stay the hell away from Spurs. Do not sign any of their players. Look elsewhere.
Frank don't have no standards, bro. Everton and Frank don't have standards.
Hey, Everton don't have standards clearly, bro, because like they spend way too much money on players that have no money. They have no business spending that kind of money on. Let's be frankly honest, bro. The moment they were signing, what's his name, for 40, is it Wobie that they signed 40 mil for? That's when I knew. I'm like, yo, this club is up in the air, bro. Like, I don't know, man. There's a lot of questions to be had here.
Bro,
but besides that, go ahead,
No, I was just
only
say,
20 million.
the other day we did on one show we did like the biggest flops, yeah, and it got to manager. And let me be clear, I'm not talking overall. I'm talking one particular club. Imagine we were having a serious conversation about Ancelotti at Everton being one of the biggest flops.
I remember this chat, yeah.
And it is true, isn't it? Like, Ancelotti as a manager is sensational, but how could he go Everton, spend money, and that still happen?
Finish.
But it just shows you. It just shows you why clubs that are poorly structured, that make decisions like the way they have. Because Everton, it's been a few years of terrible decision making at that club. They've spent way too much money. We can't even say they haven't spent enough money. They have. They've just spent very poorly. And then you add, obviously, last season, I think they had a lot of injuries. I do sympathize in that regard. But besides that, I just don't think this team is actually trying to structure themselves in a manner to compete for where they were trying to aim to compete in, because they were supposed to be in this conversation with Spurs, apparently. But they've completely and utterly dropped off. They are nowhere near this type of level, and they're not going to be. But what I will say is that when it comes to the Premier League, in my opinion, there are teams that I think sometimes we overlook them in terms of we allow them a bit too much. Everton, for me, is a team that really should be getting a lot more criticism than they have in the past, because this is a team that's been very poorly run. And every year, I don't know about you lot, but I look at the table and I think, man, what a terrible disappointment in this team.
We just did. We're doing every 2 weeks on Never a Foul. We're doing a predictions based on the here and now, right?
Yeah.
We did it 2 weeks ago. We did it again today. And today, me, Cass, and Mo were having serious conversations about Everton getting relegated, and Mo's like, they just never get relegated. But if it wasn't for they never get relegated, we were ready to say Everton this season are getting relegated, because it's if you think of how much money
If they play anything like last season, bro, I don't think they're out of that conversation. Let's be honest.
No,
they play
the
anything
amount of
like
money they've spent, the managers they've had, it's fucking mental, bro.
Can I
No,
just
the way
ask,
you
is
say
this
it,
Dele
the way you
Ali
say
deal like permanent now? Because that's what I got confused
Who's
about.
Dele Ali? I
Just
forgot about him now. Dele Ali.
Yeah, it's permanent.
it's a permanent deal.
What?
Yeah.
It's retirement?
Goodness
No,
me.
I didn't think it was. Well, no.
I thought it was a
I didn't
loan.
think Everton wanted him. I don't think Everton want him.
Yo, guys,
All right.
please, let's stop talking about Everton. Let's get back to Chelsea football.
Chelsea, yeah. I'll try and make this quick, man. I'll try and make this quick. First of all, I'm just happy to see my club actually start taking the business situation very seriously, and we're starting to sign players. I think Sterling was a good start. Koulibaly is a great follow-up, and the players that we're linked to and the way we're going at this point, I'm starting to see what sort of picture that we're trying to build up. And that's why I was willing to be patient and see what we were trying to build. I think we are exploring the market, which is why people seem a little bit confused, because some people are saying, for example, like, oh, but why are you linked with, Nathan Ake, and then you're linked with Kimpembe, and then you're linked with Kunde, and then you're linked with this guy. And it's because Chelsea is actually exploring every avenue, and the manager has had a lot more of a say than usual. We have preferences for players that we wanted to go for, but if we can't get those players, we have the next person on the list and we're going after them. And I don't think, for me, Koulibaly for me was someone I was screaming about the end of last season, because I said if we lose Rudiger, we are losing a player that I think we put all the work into to get him to his peak years, in my opinion. And now suddenly we're going to have to restart again with another player that is young if we sign another young player. I'd rather go sign someone experienced that then doesn't block the pathway for someone younger to come through, like Colwell in this case. And right now, in my eyes, we're starting to do the type of business that feels a little bit more aligned. I think some Chelsea fans are having a bit of a meltdown because, there's news dropping every now and then, and it's just like, oh my God, this person wants to go, this person, we're doing this to this person. And I just don't think it's as easy as people are making it out to be. And people are trying to say things like, we just don't care about the youth anymore. I think we do. I think at the end of the day, there are certain youth that they have to understand, like in Colwell's case, in particular for me, I've been particularly left disappointed because I'm like, you've had one loan and you're this demanding. There are players in our first team right now that have had several loans to actually get the opportunity that they're getting now. And that's not to say that his ability is not good enough, but I'm like, there's Premier League interest. Go out on loan again, prove yourself, and next season you will be in this conversation. And at the end of the day, you look at the age range of the players that we're trying to sign. Brad, you're 19 years old. There's no pathway blocked for you. You can actually make it at the club. So it's a bit of a sticky one at Chelsea at the moment, because I think it's clear to see that we're doing a little bit of a revamp and we're focusing on building from the back and then kind of going to the forward. Sterling was a great opportunity that was presented to us, and we went with it. And I'd like to see
very
what
well.
else we do.
Worded very well, Mo. Worded very well.
It was very good. Like I can't lie. It's an opportunity that I don't think comes often, right? So
now build on it. Now build on it.
The
Turn
thing
the
is,
7 out of 10 into a 9 out of 10.
We'll see how he turns out, man. I'm actually quite excited for him. I've always been like an advocate for the type of individual he is off the pitch, because I do feel like he represents a massive lot for us black people in terms of people that are footballers, etc. He's always been vocal. He's always been in that sort of media light, and unfortunately, a lot of the times they've fully just taken the piss out of him and done shit that is very unacceptable. 100%. But I think the way he's carried himself, the way he's handled so many things is very inspiring, and it's great to see that our young team is able to actually be alongside someone like him that's going to be probably a very good advice, because at the end of the day, he made his early move to Man City at a very young age. So maybe this is a conversation he could have with Colwell or with other players at the club. So I'm looking forward to it. I feel very positive. Like I said to you, I'm playing the patient game, the long game.
Mo, you're spot on. Now, from a football point of view, how do you make him a 9 out of 10, not a 7 out of 10 signing?
Say that again.
How do you make him a 9 out of 10, not a 7 out of 10 signing on the pitch?
I think the other players that we signed would be very helpful. Let's be frankly honest.
What player? Say it.
I think you need a creator. At the moment, as a team, I think we struggle with the creative side of the game.
What? Not a striker?
No, I'm not here saying a striker right now.
Okay.
If there was a very good striker that was available out there that would fit into what Tuchel wants, then I'd be all for it. But right now, as things currently stand, would be in my eyes at least, we'd be rushing that decision. I don't think we need to rush this decision. Take
the
your time.
striker market is shit. Let's be honest.
It's dog shit. It's dog shit.
It's
I'm not
bad.
lying,
It's
dog
bad,
shit.
but we'd be rushing it. And if anything, I've learned with Lukaku situation, it's reason why you don't go for somebody that is out of your profile. Like there's literally a clear interview from last season what Thomas Tuchel was asking for, and he made it vocal and made it like he literally said it to the media. And then we ended up with Lukaku, and I thought, you know what, maybe he's agreed to it because this is the best that the club could offer to him. But look at how it backfired on us, and it's because we've rushed a situation that, in my eyes, maybe shouldn't just have been rushed in the first place. So I'm excited for Sterling. Don't get me wrong. But I am very aware of the type of player he is. I don't necessarily see him as just a creator. I think he's more of a guy that can finish. But if you don't sign somebody else that can create for him, then
he
it
needs a
can be
striker
very...
next to him, bro.
What a signing! By the way, what a signing Koulibaly is. I think it's been underplayed. How
Agreed.
good,
35 million, man.
how
35
good this
million
guy
crazy.
is. Like even
Even
if he's
even I'm giving credit.
he's as a centre back, there is not much that he lacks. Like if you look at his game as a centre back, there's not much that you can tell me he lacks. He is such a fucking good player, and unfortunately, he wasted a lot of his career. Well, I'm saying wasted in his eyes. Maybe it's not wasted, but a lot of his career was spent playing in thingy. So he's not had the chance to go out and play for top European clubs and for everyone to see him. And I think people will be very, very surprised when they see how good he is, because I don't think people understand.
There's some people that were against it because they didn't really watch him as much, and I don't really understand how or why. At the end of the day, you can't just look at the Premier League and just think centre backs are only available for what we have in the Premier League. Like you've got to sometimes look outside of the Premier League. He's a name that's been constantly linked with Chelsea, and for every single time we've tried to make it happen, Napoli made it very difficult to actually make it happen because this guy is very difficult to negotiate with.
Same with us, by the way, bro. We were linked with him initially.
Let me just shout out Deluded, Chelsea fan in the house. Big up Deluded. He's saying big up Arteta for spending 400 million spending though. What? Sorry, big up Arteta's 400 million spent thoughts? Question mark. Hey, we had to spend money because we're letting all our players go on a free. We need to spend
money.
money
Talk. Oh.
Anyways, let the money talk, guys. I have made the list. This is
let's
now
go.
The top 10 list. So the way I did this, guys, the person who finished first gets 1 point. The person who finished 10 gets 10 points, and the person who's not on the list, if they get an extra point, so they'll get 11 points. If you're not on the list but you're on somebody else's list, to even it out, when I'm calculating it, I gave that person 11 points if they're not on any of your list for that round. So for the calculation,
hold on.
Okay.
You confused me. Just show us.
Yeah. I got confused a bit.
Okay, I if I show it, it's gonna ruin it. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna say it this way once again. Van Dijk had 5 votes from all of us. 6 votes from all of us, and he had 6 number 1 finishes, if I'm not mistaken. So in that case, Van Dijk would have 6 points. The second closest person would then have whatever they have, right? And then you go all the way down until you go all the way to 10. So the honorable mention will be the person who finished in 11th, who just missed out, and that person was Varane. Varane was the person who just missed out the top 10. He was in my list. He was in Dabs's list. He was not in Mons's list. He was not in Alan's list. He wasn't even in Mojo's list, and then he was in AK's list. So
I can't lie, I forgot about him, but the fact that I forgot it is what it is.
As an honorable mention, he finished.
Can I just say before we even start this year, if this list appears, and I'm gonna say this right now, if this list appears and Ben White is on it, wallahi billahi, I'm leaving studio and I'm not.
I can confirm Ben White.
What about Gabriel?
One second. I can confirm Ben White has received 0 votes from everyone in this panel.
Good.
Round of applause, all of you.
What about Gabriel?
We know ball.
You lads know ball.
What about Gabriel?
This guy, he's out here giving an ultimatum.
Tell me, has anyone voted for Gabriel?
Okay.
Yeah, I voted for him.
Yes,
so did I.
Yes, and I will tell you guys, number 10 on the list. Number 10 on the list is none other than Liverpool's Konate. He received 54 votes.
Oh, I forgot about Konate. Fuck.
That's why you voted for Gabriel.
So Konate.
No, I would have taken Varane out.
Konate's 10 with 54 votes. Just to let you guys know, AK is one of the people who did not vote for Konate.
Yeah, I completely forgot.
Alan voted for Konate. He finished 6th, I think. Mojo voted for Konate. He finished 9th. Mons 9th. 8th for Daps. And I did not put him on my list. There you go. So so am I the only person?
Too short.
So 2 people didn't put him on the list. Then now number 10 on the list is going to be Gabriel. Gabriel Magalhaes was voted 10th on my list. Mojo had him. Mojo did not have him.
I don't have him.
He had him 9th. Alan had him 7th. You had Mons who had him 10th, and Dabs didn't even have him on his list. So Mojo, sorry, why did I say Mojo? Gabriel finishes 9th, guys. And he was on how many points? He finished with 47 points. Okay. So he finished with 47 points. And that's what, sorry, no, that's John Stones who finished with 47 points. He finished with 49 points. Gabriel.
So John Stones didn't make it. Wow.
John Stones next, actually. John Stones next. He had 47.
He has less points.
John Stone has 47. So
how many did Gabriel have?
Guys, the less points you have, the higher up on the list.
The less points you have, the higher. Van Dijk finished first, and he has 6 points.
Oh, this might work out well for United. They need to adopt that next season.
John Stones finished. John Stones finished 8th. Sorry, 8th. Yeah, he finished 8th. He was 8th on my list. He was 6th on Dabs' list. He was 8th on Mons' list. He was 8th on Alan's list. He was 8th on Mojo's list, and he wasn't even.
He wasn't on my list. Another player I forgot.
Yeah, so he finished
That's
8th. Is Maguire on the list? Oh, Maguire was not on
the
list. No?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, we don't even need to clap that, bro. It's just
never going to be in our list.
I can't lie. If anyone had Maguire on their list, I would petition to remove them from the show.
I can't lie. I would have.
Guys, we already know about
typewriters ready, please. He's going to talk about Harry Maguire now. Hoe vond je hem de laatste tijd? Hij pakt rood tegen Watford.
He's really shit.
Anyways, enough about that. I love playing that clip. Moving on. The next one, Romero. Romero was voted, and he got 42 votes. He finished in 6th. So Romero is in 6th with 42 votes. He got voted in by AK. Remember this one at 7. You have Mojo had him at 7.
Big up QT, man.
Alan had him all the way at 4, ahead of Thiago Silva, Konate, Gabriel, John Stones, Matip, and he had Guehi as his 10th. Mons, you had him 6th. You had him.
I was right about some maximum. I'll be right about this.
And I had him 9th, actually.
I see. I had him. I see Romero is a very similar one.
I had him 7th.
I know that Koulibaly will be in this list, yeah, and rightly so. But I see Koulibaly and Romero. They're very similar as far as to why they're in this list. Koulibaly has had a very good career.
How many
He's
points
a very
do you think
good centre
Koulibaly
back, but he hasn't played in the Premier League. Romero is looking good, but he still needs another season or two before you're going to put him up there. So
guys,
I think
listen to this. You segued it perfectly, Dabs. Look at how many points he got. In comparison,
where am I looking?
41, 42.
Romero got 42, and Koulibaly got 41. Bro, what aren't you looking on the screen?
Well, I am, and I can't see no
bottom left corner.
Oh, that's you, bottom left. Oh, my bad. I thought that was comments.
Stay off the drinks, mate.
I honestly thought that was comments. I didn't.
Okay, I've done it based on people in the Premier League now, because all these coming in are hypotheticals. You don't know how they're going to perform, so that's why I didn't put him in.
The reason why Koulibaly finished so high was because a lot of you guys had him 6th or 7th on your list. Almost all of you guys had him that high. AK was the only person who had him in his top 4. So everyone else had him.
I had him in top 4 as well.
No, you didn't. You had
literally have 3 players ahead of him.
You had Koundé.
Koundé's not in my list, bro. What are you talking about?
Oh shit. That's Koulibaly.
Scaring me. I'm like, Koundé was not on my list.
No, that's his first name. What's his name?
Khalidou Koulibaly.
Yeah, Khalidou. I thought Khalidou was something else. Anyways, so you had him. He might be even higher on the list. What am I talking about? So take 1 point off. He finished with 40 points actually instead of you didn't give me a top 10, did you?
I gave you 9. I just realized I forgot. I could add Varane as a pity vote, but hey, it's pity.
It's a pity vote.
If you add Varane,
I forgot about him.
He still doesn't make the cut. Anyways, moving on to the next person. This one, you guys should all know. Who do you think you guys voted as the 5th best center back?
Laporte.
You guys pretty much consensus. Almost
I reckon
all of
it'll end up Laporte.
I've got Laporte.
It'll end up Laporte. I'll end up Laporte.
Laporte or Matip? What do you guys think?
It should be Matip, but I bet it's
Sorry,
Laporte.
sorry.
Laporte in my 5th
Where's
best.
Koulibaly on this list again?
6th.
6th or 5th?
Never played in the Premier League in his 6th, man.
Wait, 6th? Are you sure?
Yeah, 6th. Because we have Koundé, Gabriel, John Stones, Romero, and then Koulibaly.
So he's 6th. Okay, that's a howler in my opinion. That is a big howler.
You know who's ahead of him?
He should be higher on that list.
You know who's better? You know who we have ahead of him? Matip.
Yeah,
Matip.
That's a howler, man. I'm sorry, I can't co-sign
No
that.
way. He doesn't set a foot in the Premier League, bro.
It doesn't matter. We're not judging them based off of
I forgot you don't do the tax thing.
We're judging them as defenders, and as a defender, he is better than Matip, guys. Come on, man. This is a howler.
AK was the only person. Him and
Mojo were
the only people to have Koulibaly in their top 4, right? But you had Matip 6th, so you helped contribute to him finishing.
No, of course, because Matip is still a very good defender. I think he's in the top 6.
What's Koulibaly helped
the crazy thing is, guys, the crazy thing is, there's one.
So are we just talking trophies? Because if
I'm saying,
if we're just talking trophies, then I'll bring Rafael Varane.
Don't bite. I
am gonna bite because
don't bite. Just answer what he's helped.
Let's go to the chat.
No,
better.
That's not an argument. I'm sorry. That's a baseless argument.
I'm sorry. If Matip,
what has he won? Because if we're doing that, then I'm gonna look at you and I'm gonna tell you, how the hell did you not have Rafael Varane on this list? 5 Champions Leagues in the fucking.
I just asked. I asked the question.
But I'm saying it don't make sense.
I generally don't know if Napoli have been, doing anything.
I think it's irrelevant. I think it's completely irrelevant.
So people are just taking this way too seriously.
Go on, Egal, do it, Egal.
I did the poll.
From Egal to send over Premier League players. So I took it as of now who's in the Premier League because they've played in the Premier League. Other people interpreted it the way they want.
I made it extremely clear, including new signings. Alan, I made it extremely clear, including new signings, and I even messaged you Koulibaly brackets.
I didn't even read that, to be fair, Egal.
Okay, no worries. It's fair.
Unbelievable, mate.
But I think the Koulibaly hype, he's a brilliant centre back, by the way. But I think not a lot of people have watched as many games as it seems to be when it comes to Koulibaly, and it's almost like a common knowledge thing that everyone goes with.
Guys,
so
Mon studies Italian football.
We have 4 more.
Let's go.
AK's got to go before midnight, so we got to make sure we get these through.
Go on, Egal, do it. Don't be shameless.
Listen to this, guys. What separates 3rd place and 2nd place is 3 points. 3rd place finished with 20 points. Third place finished with 19 points, and 2nd place finished with 18 points. It's mad, absolutely mad. So Laporte finished in 4th. Laporte finished in 4th with 20 points.
Take that.
Laporte finished in 4th with 20 points. Just so you guys know, all of you guys had Laporte on your team. Every single one of you guys had.
Please don't tell me we put Diaz ahead of Thiago Silva because I'm gonna scream.
No, you shouldn't do neither.
I'm gonna tell you guys there. I'm gonna tell you what happens in a second. But Laporte, the lowest person who had Laporte on their list was Mojo and Mons, where you guys had him 5th. Everybody else had him above that. Majority.
Laporte was our best defender last season.
Majority of you had him 3rd, but only I had him in the top 2. I put him in the top 2. I don't know why. I changed it later. But hey, originally I had him in my top 2 based on last year's performances. If you look at last year's performances, but let's move on to the next one. Next we have, who do you think it is? Thiago?
If it's Thiago Silva, I'm done.
It should be Diaz. It should be Diaz.
It is Diaz.
Okay,
the reason being, Diaz received 2nd place votes from Dabs and Allen. Everyone else, he received lower votes. And
he was our 3rd best defender last season.
The biggest contributor to him being lower down the list is AK, putting him 5th on his list. Everyone else had him above that. So because of that,
2 seasons in the Premier League, my ad.
Because of that, he finished 1 point behind the 2nd place vote, which is Thiago Silva. And that means Van Dijk, of course, as we already knew, Virgil van Dijk finished 1st. So are you guys proud of that list?
Did Van Dijk get first in everyone's list?
He should be.
Van Dijk is first on my list. I can't
Yeah,
lie.
he's first on my list as well. 100%.
If Thiago Silva was younger,
regrettably,
he's
he's
have a
first on mine
debate,
as
man.
well.
But
Listen. Diaz has played in the league for 2 seasons. First season was undeniable. Second season, he was actually statistically our third best centre back. Right? So we need to see more of him. That's why I say in Koulibaly, he hasn't played in this league. However much I rate him, he hasn't played in this league yet. We have to give people time, for fuck's sake. Not expect them to
So are you
land
guys?
and
Fine, it's not that's Premier League tax don't matter. You know what I'm saying?
So guys, are you guys okay with this list? Let me just show it to you guys on the.
Yeah.
No, but
I just want you to
what
be
I'm saying
shameless
is,
and share the screen.
What I'm
That's all
saying,
I
Moss,
want.
is you see when we're talking about lists like this, a top 10 list, I don't think if the player has played in the Premier League should be relevant because we're looking at them as defenders. All of us here are smart enough and have watched enough football to understand how good a player is from watching them, whether they're, you know what I'm saying, third, fourth, fifth. So I don't think what they've won or where they've played has any relevance to it, to be honest.
Well, I'll be honest. If I'm
I
involved
think
in this
Stones goes above
conversation, you need to take me out of that because I don't watch European football unless we're playing them in
What do you
Europe.
guys think
I
about
just don't
this?
like hypotheticals.
The list seems alright for me. I think Konate goes above Gabriel, and I think Romero goes below Stones. I think that's the list is fine.
Everyone's okay with it. The only
After
thing
Stones Diaz combo, sorry, better than what I've seen of anything of Romero. I'm sorry.
We didn't see that much last season, so I agree with
so
you.
you guys would have changed Romero and Stones. That's all.
Yeah, that would have been an 8 for Romero. 8.
But
AK would have changed
7
Koulibaly and
for
Matip.
No Lindelof?
the thing is, guys, like with some of these careers of these players, like we can't punish them because they've not been in the Premier League, though. Like that's where I feel like very different. Like I've always known Thiago Silva.
I bet you do.
No,
Thiago Silva's come and proved it in the Premier League. He's proved it.
No, I get what you lot are trying to say, but like at the end of the day, like these players, despite where they play in, they all play in European competition. They all play in international. So we have seen these players in multiple different competitions. So it's not like, oh, you have to watch Serie A 38 games or whatever amount of games they play.
I haven't seen Koulibaly do much in the Champions League.
Yeah, of course, because Napoli is not a Champions League team, bro.
But I'm just saying that's just my caveat to what you've said.
By the way,
Koulibaly do more in the Champions
by the way,
League.
can I give you guys?
Okay,
so the other honorable mentions. It was Guehi from Crystal Palace. My guy voted for Martinez. Guess who? And
share the screen,
guys.
Share the screen.
Let me just clarify something. Yeah, I promise.
Don't clarify, bro.
No, one second, because I just need to clarify this. I swear to God, I forgot about Stones, and I completely forgot about Konate. Them two would have obviously made my list. In my opinion, what's his name, Varane and thingy. But I honestly just ran out of names, and I was like, yeah, you know what? At the time when I was writing the list, we were talking about him, so I just put him in.
Can I just say this as well, though? Like, Romero didn't have to come to the Premier League for me to rate him as a player. I knew he was a good player. That's why as soon as Spurs signed him, I'm like, it's good business right there. You know. So I don't understand, like, this whole idea of, like, the players have to play in the Premier League to prove themselves.
They do for me to see them.
Not have to. It just take. Wait, hold on. Let me see that again. Wait, hold on. Just quickly grab that list.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, Varane is actually on a couple man's list. I hear it still.
Nah, he's not even on my list, bro. I fully forgot.
He's on Daps's list.
He's on my list. Listen,
he's on people's list.
He's on. I'm watching him.
He's on.
I fully forgot.
You want to see something? Look at this. He finished with 48 points.
58.
58. Sorry.
Yeah.
Konate finished with 54 at the time. So if you want me to undo it, there you go.
Might take a spot in the France squad. Maybe.
It's interesting. It's like I think there's not really like the fact that there's a lot of these names that are pretty much in all of our top 10 lists. I guess like it shows a lot in it. Like we know which ones are actually the ones that are standouts in the Premier League, and it'll be interesting to see what they're like. The ones that are obviously.
I think there's two standouts, if I'm honest.
That's where we're gonna wrap up, though, guys.
There's two standouts for me.
Mm-hmm.
Who's the standouts?
Thiago and Van Dijk. I'll be honest, as a City fan, Ruben Diaz has been in the league for 2 years. I'm going to give him more time. Thiago Silva is a proven in world football, right? And then he's come to the Premier League and for 2 seasons done it there. Ruben Diaz is not proven in world football yet. So he's come to the Premier League. He's had one sensational season. Second season, I do think if he's alongside Stones, it would look better. But I'm not willing to stand on no hill for him yet. I love that my club are that good that I can say that. So
yo, let me just wrap it up here. We did a bunch of polls. Van Dijk won by a
share the screen,
landslide.
Egal, share the screen.
Where it's gonna take a while for me to find
No,
the
no,
polls.
no. I just no, not the poll. I've shared screen. Just put my shit up, bro.
Oh, okay. Oh man, that's rude.
Oh yeah, you. You know, yeah. This is childish. I can't lie, bro.
Sorry, I have to end the show on a childish vibe. I've been around my daughter all weekend, so
just before we end the show, shout out to all the people commenting. You can see here Thiago Silva, Diaz, and who's better. And we did the Koulibaly one. Where is it? There we go. Koulibaly won by a little bit of a big margin. So should we change him now that he's won?
I'm clapping them, bro. I'm clapping them.
The people on the poll voted.
I hope that's your hands.
I mean, I don't know, man. I might need to see Koulibaly in like a final or something, see if he can pull something out of his pants or something. Maybe Chelsea.
Hopefully not against you lot or your draw again.
Chelsea are good at getting to finals, so hopefully we'll see what you can do on the big stage now.
I big up everyone. Doc LFC saying AK Konate is not on the Konate is on the list. Drogba disgrace.
It means on my
No.
list.
He forgot. Yeah, he forgot in it.
Yeah, no, listen, I'll hold that one. It completely skipped my mind.
You know what? This is why the lists are so entertaining, because when you get it this way, people can't bounce off other people's minds. You have to do it on your own. And I think the next one I'm going to do is like attacking players, maybe like strikers or something, or best goal scorers or whatever.
And I still don't understand what we were judging these defenders off. I'm just confused. I'll be
no,
real.
Basically,
I'm
gathering our opinions. 1 second.
But what are we judging them off though? That's
No,
the issue.
What it is it's your own personal 10 list, and then all of our lists going together to make.
But again, you can't. There has to be parameters set on what we're judging these players off. Otherwise, you're going to get inconsistent lists from everyone. We all need to be listing the same things. So if we're judging these players based off what they've done in the Premier League, that's one thing. If we're judging these defenders based on career and who's a better defender, that's another thing. Like we have to know what we're judging these players on. Otherwise, you're going to have one person who puts a player third and another one who puts him ninth because he doesn't like how he plays. You get it?
You know what I'm going to do it? You know what I'm going to do it this way? I'm going to do it this
Vibes
way.
it, inshallah.
You make your own personal list. I don't care your context. Once we get together, you tell me. Because if you make a list where it's like you don't want to put Mo Salah on the top 10 because you don't rate his ability.
But you're still not understanding me.
So it's just it's your personal preference on what you think is the best 10 centre backs in the league. You can put it on web parameters, and then obviously when he puts the scores together, then you decide. Then obviously it's like,
but what are these parameters? Is what I'm saying.
Whatever parameters you want to do it on.
It's so different, subjective,
but do you see the inconsistencies there then?
Bro,
because
this list.
Some people have judged them here based on the Premier League. Some people have judged them based on how good they are in general.
The inconsistencies, we pretty much all had the same names on the list, apart from one or two.
We didn't have time to go through it ourselves and set the parameters and set it from beginning to end. So the way I did it was everyone make their own list. I put all our lists together and I go with the public consensus on what we think. That is
no, that's absolutely fine. I'm not disagreeing with the list. It turned out well in the end. I don't have a problem with it. But what I'm trying to say is, when there is no parameter set and everyone is going off what they think, you're going to have, in terms of positionally, it's going to be inconsistent because some people, like for example, some people here were judging these defenders based on what they've done in the Premier League alone, while some of us were just judging them as defenders completely. You get it? So
the question, what the actual question is.
So anyways, it is what it is. Let's end this.
Sorry, one last thing. Jack Napier, people, has spent the whole evening on Twitter. He actually hollered me on Twitter and has been talking about his brother's rap sheet in a whole lot of crap, right? Saying, please unblock him, please unblock him. And I said, if you move correct, I will unblock you. And then guess what he's done tonight? So, Jack, you're a weird little specimen as a human being. Create another account, message me, brother, and I will meet you in Mile End whenever you want.
What's the point, mate? Just leave it, man.
Anyways, that's it, guys. You guys have yourselves a wonderful day. You already know what it is. It's Kitty G on EGTV. We're out of here. Chicken wing.